Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Knit Chat with Jen podcast. I am your host, Jen, coming from the beautiful part of San Francisco Bay Area called the City of Hayward, which we're considered the East Bay Area, the east part of the Bay Area. This is a podcast about knitting, spinning, books, and whatever I like to throw in. Sometimes a kitchen sink. Hopefully this time, this will come up the same day. Which, by the way, today is Sunday, October 9th, 2016. So hopefully this will go up the same day. And that's why I'm actually calling it Double the Fun. Because I just finally edited and uploaded last week's episode. Yeah. Whatever. Welcome everyone. If you are new, thank you so much for checking me out. If you are returning, I really do love you guys, and thank you so much for continuing to come back and watch me every week or every 2 weeks or whatever you do. I thank you and appreciate all of you. But first off, let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today. Today we are going to talk about the 35 subscriber giveaway, which I did close eventually yesterday. A little bit later than I wanted it to be. So we're going to talk about the winners for that. And then we have some knitting to talk about. Actually a good portion of knitting, spinning, stash therapy, and etc., etc., etc. With the sneak peek, actually, I think I'm going to deviate a little bit. I didn't put it in my show notes, but I think I'm going to deviate a little and talk about makeup. I think so, if we have time. So let's first talk about the giveaway winners. So I did a random number generator. There were only 6 posts, including mine. So I did a random number generator between 2 and 6 to pull the winner, so that way we don't have to go through the clicking and all that stuff. I assure you, it is all truthful and honest. I don't know what I'm saying. Actually, let's see if my tea is ready. By the way, grab your beverage of choice, okay? I'm hoping it's not going to be a long one, but just in case, grab your beverage of choice. Today, mine is, I'm not going to pick it because I just brewed it. It's Bigelow's Pumpkin Spice. I know, everything pumpkin. My husband likes it. This is the first time I'm having a full cup of it. But I'm letting it steep because it's too hot. But anyway, grab your beverage of choice. Let's talk about winners. So I did a random number generator. And to remind you, the prizes are, the first one is the Highland Handmaid's Latent in her silver maple sock. This was part of a club showing. 60% superwash merino, 30% bamboo, 10% nylon with 425 yards. And this is going to go out to the post number 2, PatronKnits, which I believe according to your Flickr is named Joey. So, yay! I should have your username right here. So, congratulations, Is it PatronKnits or PatronKnits? I'm thinking Patron like the tequila and the Harry Potter, but let me know if I'm wrong. Because it's the same spelling. So, Patron or PatronKnits, you have won the skein of yarn. Please contact me with your address and preference of beverage, coffee, tea, something that I can send. And if you want minis. The second winner will be getting, and let me know if you have any allergies. that too. The second person between 2 and 6 is winning this Forbidden, which is her sparkly base, which is Pride. 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, and this is in her butterbeer. And that winner is TriLinda, which is post number 4. And her name is Linda. Hi, Linda. So please contact me, Linda, with your address. And yeah. And what I'm going to do is if the 2 winners do not contact me within a month, so you have until November 9th to contact me. I'm going to give you some time because I know people are slow when it comes to catching up on podcasts. I know that for sure. So I'm going to give them a month, and then if they don't contact me, I will just grab the next 2 because it was 2 to 6 posts, which I understand I forgot to upload the last one to remind you guys. So contact me with your address, preference of beverage, minis, yeah. And what was funny is Linda talked about how she hated her least favorite thing of fall were the leaves, and I was thinking, oh, but I love jumping into leaves, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I don't have to rake them. Yeah, I'm sorry, Linda. And I think PatronKnits Joey was saying the change of weather. So, yay! You guys win! Again, contact me. You have a month. So let's go on to knitting, shall we? And let's talk about what's off my needles. Unfortunately, I do not have the socks with me. I saw my friend and gave it to her on Friday and completely forgot to take pictures. Good job, Jen. But this is what's left of the yarn. Maybe I can convince her to take pictures. I don't know. But this was what's left of the yarn. And I'm kind of disappointed because it didn't fit as well as I wanted it to be. I like socks to be nice and snug, and it was snug in the leg. It was snug in the heel. It was snug on the foot, but the toe, there was this much left over on the toe. And I was mad. I was not happy about that. But she was fine with it. She said she loved a little room. And I'm like, don't be nice. Come on. You're paying for it. But she says she's fine. I said I could go back and redo it. And she's like, no. So I'm like, okay, all right. But I have enough to make some bibby socks for her. And again, it's not going to. There you go. This is Baroque Socks Metallic, 73% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 2% of other fiber. I think it means stellina or some sort of glittery stuff. So that is, I did finish those. I'm trying not to speak away from the camera because when I was editing last night, it took me forever to edit that darn tootin' video last night, and I noticed I would talk away from the camera. Good job, Jen. Good job. Yeah. I knit those on US 1.5, 2.5 millimeter on my chow glue. Not the interchangeables, but the regular lace. All right, that's the only finished objects I have. What is still on my needles are Commission Knits number 2, now number 1, my Spunky Punky. I always want to say my Spunky Punky. My Spunky Pumpkin, which of course I put in the middle of a row. Good job, guys. Good job. All right, let me knit this. This yarn is Regia 4-ply in the Monaco color, which is just the usual 75% superwash wool and do the math, 25% polymer. They're sort of hardworking fiber. And I'm doing Afterthought heels, and once I show it to you, you will see that I am past the cuff and into the foot, because I have already put in my waist yarn. Once I finished my Barocco socks commission knits, I basically pulled these out for when I was in school, class, all that jazz, and just started to work in a storm. Yeah. And I was mentioning to a friend that I was doing a lot of socks for Socktober. I know last year I did a little bit of Socktober knitting, but not, again, I was such an on and off podcaster that I don't think I could get enough people to really generate any buzz about Socktober. And then this year, I know I've been knitting a lot of socks that I could do a Socktober knit along, but I don't know. I don't think I have the spoons for it, to be perfectly honest. With all my school stuff and placement and trying not to go crazy with all the things that are happening in my life, I really want to do a knit along, because that's the thing that we do, right? As podcasters, we like to generate community, and I love community. That's why I'm starting it in my own community at home. But I also have to have the spoons for it. So, all right. So now that I have finished, so this, as I said, I hate the wire in this. I swear to God. So I did a 6-inch cuff. They are not twinsies. They're fraternal. My friend who I'm knitting these for does not care. She loves the color, and that's all that matters. So I'm past the 6-inch cuff, and here, let me show you where I have inserted. So if you can see this pink line, that is the waist yarn for the Afterthought heel. And I think I did a pretty good job of putting it midway, almost midway. I thought I understood how many rows per stripe was, but no. So it's okay. I think I did a pretty good job on this one, but the tan one, meh. So, and of course I dropped the bag. That's as much as that I have done. I believe I was right here. I don't have progress keepers. I know. Bad podcast for not having progress keepers. And I guess I have those light bulb, are those stitch markers? I guess they are. I guess I could use those. I'm just lazy. Let's accept it. I'm just lazy. So I was around here last time, and I did a ton of work this past week and a half. Was it a week and a half? No, it was a week. And it's living in just a general bucket bag that I got at a local yarn store. It was part of their birthday thing. It's Phillies. So this is my outside knitting, you know, traveling knitting, patience knitting, right? Don't kill people, you can wait in line, etc. So, that's one knit. I'm talking away from the camera again, aren't I? That's one knit. These are my zombie pebble socks. Of course, now it's not going to focus. It's going to focus on my face. But these are, I'm doing the Pebble Socks by Mina Phillips. It was part of her Beyond Vanilla Part 1 sock collection. And I'm doing them toe up, 2 at a time. US 1 on my Chowgu wooden. And I'm just on the foot, but it's a lot more. I believe, I don't believe, I know because I edited it yesterday. I was at the toe. I had just finished the toe, and now I have done a couple of repeats of the pattern. And Cephalopod, Skinny Bugga, and a discontinued color for a discontinued yarn. Green Darner Dragonfly, which I've been calling my zombie socks. This is her 80-10-10 Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon. 400. And I was going to do a lot more on these socks during knit night, which has been changed to Fridays. But someone was commenting that I forget what it was. Oh, during knit night, we knit at Pete's, and for the first time in a very long time, I got a nasty look from someone for knitting, or maybe it was the hair. I don't know. But it was weird. Someone looked over and said, hey, and the gal looked over from her phone and was like, I'm like, whoa. And so my friend and I, we were talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, we just got a bad look. And I said, well, at least we're going to be warm. And I was knitting on her socks, and she was knitting on a sweater, and she said, no, I believe I'm going to be warm. You need to start knitting stuff for you. So I was like, oh, yeah. So this is my pumpkin spice. Yeah, still needs some brewing. And it's still warm. Why I am drinking hot tea on an 83-degree weather day is beyond me, but I wanted tea and I wanted pumpkin spice. But so that is actually why I've gotten a lot of work on my golden cardigan. Oh, and my zombie socks are living in my Outlander stitched by Just a Lou bag, by the way. I've split for this. I have split for the sleeves, and now I'm just working on the body. So I once I finished the row with her socks, I then said fine and pulled out my cardigan. Said fine, I'm gonna be warm then. I also had my socks too. I don't know why I didn't pull those out, but I knew that I should be really working on this since it is going to start getting cold. This is my golden cardigan, which is based off, it is very, very loosely based off the Dew Point shrug, which I think now I'm just going to use the numbers and then just not have to worry about giving her too much credit because I'm doing a lot of modifications. So this is the front. I shaped the front so it could have it's definitely a more raglan shape, but it turns out I thought I was doing a V-neck, but it's really straight up and down, which makes sense because I was doing the increases inside, not at the edge. So it's a happy accident though, because now I can do the type of collar that I want to do rather than having to worry about not having what I wanted. So that's the front. Oh, and this thick part is where I've been Russian joining the ends. And if anyone would like to see me do that, please let me know. Private message me, and I can do a video tutorial if people care. I mean, it's not as good, but it's better than some other ones I've seen. Yeah, and I didn't do a very good job clipping the ends for this one, but it'll be fine. Because I did a pretty good job later on. I mean, it will, not that blocking will do much of a miracle, but I'll at least do some, right? This is the back. And I tried it on once I separated for the sleeves, and it turns out the under was too small. Because I put the sleeve stitches on waist yarn, as you can see with the red. I didn't have any DK weight to use as waist yarn, so I just doubled fingering. And I cast it on. When you separate for the sleeves, you also have to make sure you have stitches under for the underarm. And I cast it on 14, thinking that would be enough, but when I tried it on, it was still pretty tight. So I only had knit one row after I the thumb cast on. I don't think I'm making much sense. When you separate for the sleeves and you cast on the stitches for the underarm, you're doing a specific cast on. Now, as far as I know. So for me, I do the thumb one where you take the yarn from the working yarn and you loop it. You loop it like this, and then you take the needle and you whoop. Imagine whoop, right? Whoop. Let me do that again, because I don't think that was in camera. So I take my thumb, loop it like this, and then imagine this is a needle. It's a simple cast on. It doesn't make a nice edge, but it's easy. It's very easy to pick up these stitches later on. So that's what I did. I cast it on 14 stitches. Well, that was too little. It was stretching. It was not comfortable. So I made one left and made one right on both areas of those 14 stitches to make 16, and it's a much better fit. So when I pick up for the sleeves later on, I'll need to remember, I'll need to make a note of this, that I need to pick up 16 stitches rather than 14. So, and then I think I will have to do another decrease row. That was a weird. I will have to do another decrease row in order to make up for the numbers and to have a good fit. But we will figure that out when we get there. The needles I'm knitting them in are in my ChowGoo lace, again, because I love them, in US 4, which I believe I figured out was 3.5, but let's check it again. 3.5 millimeter. My memory's getting a lot better. Used to be a big sieve. And I'm knitting this out of Zara Vellatura di Crossa, which is an Italian yarn. Superwash Merino in the 1922 color. I'm calling it my golden cardigan. But now that I'm finally seeing the workings, I'm starting to plan for another cardigan. I know. Right. And that's all that I've been knitting. I'm back to my favorite 3 projects. So we are good. I'm not going crazy with all my knitted stuff. Although I really am tempted to cast on another pair of socks. I know, come on. Jen, come on. It's okay. Because I have some spinning. I do. I have some spinning to show you, and I really need to keep practicing on my spinning. It's just I haven't had time to get this project off my spindles. So the last time I talked to you about this fiber, this was Pigeon Roof Studio Superwash Merino, which was a 4.1 ounce. As you can see, I did Navajo ply it, but I haven't been able to reskein it and soak it. So this is the product of Navajo plying, and it was a lot of fun. I think I am gonna Navajo ply everything. It was so simple. Well, once I watched the video 2 million times. And as you can see, it's still thick and thin. 'Tis life. But this is my usual spinning. This one was my old one that I find is just way too heavy. But it worked for the Navajo plying. But I think I need to get another spindle. What do you think, guys? I think I need another spindle. You think? I think so. You know, one for spinning, one for plying. But this was a lot of fun. I actually as you can tell, I ran out of room on this one, so I went on with this one, but I do plan to combine it to have one big skein. But again, it still needs to be soaked. But this is my usual spinning, and I haven't been able to because I need to reskein everything in order to get this free. Well, I guess I could have put it on. What am I talking about? I could have totally. Jen, hello. I have toilet paper rolls. I have toilet paper rolls. Why haven't I? Jen. Can you tell can you tell that I've just been a little haphazard? Yeah. So this is my plying stuff, but I have done other spinning. Asweas, okay? Asweas, I have done more spinning. I pulled out my Funky Carolina BFL. So this is the product of one bump. I again split the braid into 3 bumps, and I've been separating that, and as you can see, I'm doing a lot better. Just kind of, I think I need to start listening to what the fiber wants me to do rather than what I want the fiber to be. And my phone is going off the hook. Oh, that's why. I'm starting it. I know that sounds so hippie of me, but you know what? I'm hippie. That's it. I'm happy. And I'm just going to listen to what the fiber wants me to do rather than what I want the fiber to do. If the fiber wants to end at one point, I'm going to let it do it. So that's one bump. And the rest is in here. I don't want to pull it out, but. And again, this is Funky Carolina, who's not. See, yeah, I divided it up. This is Funky Carolina, who's no longer dying, so I don't need to put any links. Sorry, guys. I am planning to go to a fall festival, not next weekend, but the weekend after. So maybe I'll have some more fiber to show you in 2 weeks. But I'll talk more about that later. So that's it about my spinning. Let me go off cuff and talk about makeup. I know I haven't had this in a while, and that's because, one, I've been kind of toning down my makeup, especially, one, too busy. As you can tell, this is all natural. All natural. You want to see all natural. No primer, nothing. Just lipstick. Just because not because I'm not taking good care of myself, and I'm not, because you know how some people who are depressed, they start to lose interest in their appearances, so they don't try as hard. That's not the case here. It's more of toning down the makeup for the kids, because even 5th graders, they'll notice something and say, why are you doing that? And just busy. I just want to take a shower, not be stuck in the bathroom for an hour and a half. Just saying. So, yeah. So, that's why there hasn't been a makeup segment. And also, if you had noticed, my nails have been well polished, but I haven't talked about them. That's because I was through this nail salon local to me that I finally found my local nail salon. They convinced me, and I was fully able to be convinced. I was easily swayed to do a type of gel. Now, yes, you're like, Jen, you always do this. You always go in and out of gels. And I do. Because I love the durability of gel. But I was getting tired of the acrylic, and I was getting tired of the gels ruining my nails. But this nail salon is called the Natural Nail Salon. It's in Hayward. And they deal with only natural stuff. They do not have acrylics. The closest to acrylics is what I was getting, which was the Bio Sculpture Gel. And I'll put some information of this down below in the show notes, down below there, or in the show notes on Ravelry. It is a different type of gel system. It provides strength without too much of the bad chemicals. It doesn't. They swear. I don't know the science behind this, but there's truth behind the words that the chemicals that they use let your nail bed breathe. I really want to look up the science behind this, and if it's true that nail beds need to breathe, but they're not harsh on your nails, and they actually make them stronger. And it's truth, because this is after 2 months. And it's a little bit of, I need to buff it out a little bit better. This is me taking them off, not peeling them off, but soaking them in acetone like you normally do with gels, and gently taking them off with a cuticle pusher. This is my natural nail. And when I was wearing the gels, and they did have what they call a straightener. So there was a base, there was a strengthener, kind of like a structure gel, kind of like how Gelish had, but it doesn't, I don't know, the chemicals are different. Kind of look like caviar. Not the eggs, but like the whiteness. I don't know. But what she would do is she would put a base, she would put that structure gel, then she would put the color, and then the top coat. So it would have that extra nice, and you could also even make that structure build so it become actual nail. You could extend your nail out without tips. You can make tips out of that structure gel. She didn't do that on mine because I like mine short. But yeah, they're healthy, right? This is from this afternoon. I did my chores. I had already had one. I'm not flipping you off. This one popped off yesterday while doing errands. And so I was going to just put a nail polish on it. But then I realized, you know what? I'm just going to take them off and let's see. Because I would watch her take it off, but then I would never. That's why I never did a segment for it. Because I couldn't get her to let me stop to take pictures so I could show it to you guys. So I'm like, why don't I just take it off? And I'm, also again, strict budget, and so I do have to realize that going every month to get my nails done is just, it's a little bit of an extravagance that I know I always give up and then I come back. I give up and then I come back. And I'm sorry for the weird lighting. The sun's coming out of a cloud. I don't know. But anyway, it's healthy. This is from this afternoon. I put on the acetone. I scrubbed off the shiny stuff, put on some acetone, kept it on there for 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. Took it off. Did not have any problems taking it off. And they are not weak. These are my actual nails. And they're usual. These are the usual nails that I have. There's no weak spots. The problem is that they are more than gelish. Most gel or shellac manicures are around 30-35. Biostructure gels tend to run to 50 to 60. That's why I'm like, okay, Jen, this is great, but you need to be practical. So if it is within your budget, I suggest, if you love being natural nails and but also not having to deal with constant change of nail polish, try to find a biostructure gel person near you. It's a little bit of a small niche thing because I've never heard of it until this nail salon. So check them out. Yeah, so it's amazing, but it is a little pricey. So if it's within your budget, check it out. So, and if you want to see the actual colors, you can see my previous podcasts in the last 3 months. I'm just saying, look at that. And my nails were really bad when I went to the nail salon. I had taken off the acrylics. I was rehabbing them. And she's like, oh, really? You want to rehab them? Try these. And I was just like dubious. I'm like, oh, come on. It's another gel system that's going to wreak havoc to my nails. Nope. All right. Let's go on to stash therapy, shall we? Because we're at 41 minutes. And again, don't want to make this long. I got for September, fall in, and it's so gorgeous, isn't it? It's so gorgeous. Although, so this is her red maple sock. It's 50% Superwash Merino, 50% Tencel. So this would make a really nice drapey shawl. I don't know if I really want to put it in my on my feet, only because Tencel, just like silk and bamboo, it would be strong, but I think it would have a nice drape. So this is definitely going to be a shawl. Isn't it pretty? Just very much folly. So, all right, squish squish. And that's that for stash therapy. A Swizz. That's it. And, yeah. But before I go to et cetera, can I have some podcast love? I'm going to do some podcast love. It's only for one podcaster. One podcast. I'm going to do a podcast love for one podcast that is fairly new. And I feel remiss for not mentioning them previously because they actually subscribed to me first. And I don't even know if they mentioned me or not. I don't know if they have. But they subscribed to me first, and I saw it and I'm like, oh, okay. And then never checked them out. I finally checked them out because I believe Hey Sister talked about them, Spicy Homemaker talked about them, a couple of other people I know talked about them too. So, and I said, oh, I think they subscribed to me. And then I went back and I'm like, yeah, they did. And so I checked them out this morning. And ladies, you're awesome, but you don't know who you are, right? Because I haven't mentioned you yet. The podcast I'm talking about and not saying their names are the Mean Girls Knits podcast. Sister duo Stephanie and Rebecca, which Rebecca, you spell your name just like my mom. So, that would, I don't know. There's not much else connection other than that. But you guys are awesome. I love you both. Your humor is very much the humor I love. You make me laugh. And I love honesty. Here's the thing about me. I love honesty. And I don't know what's going on over here. I thought I was podcasting at the right moment, but apparently not. I like people who are honest. I mean, with podcasters, you definitely put on a persona. That's just the nature of it all. But I love their honesty. I love people who are just honest. Just honest. And it's just hilarious. My favorite part in their first episode was the J.O. Jacked objects. It's so true, Stephanie and Rebecca. And if I had kept my first knitted object, you would have seen how jacked up it was. I'm just saying. It was actually a square. That's why when I teach people how to knit, I always say, don't expect you're going to knit anything. You're just going to knit a square. And my square started here, and it was like this. It ended up being a cape for my stuffed animal, because I learned how to knit when I was 12. Yeah, and can I say, I'm loving this sister duo. First, I love the mother-daughter duos. It just makes me wish my mom and I were knitters together. And then the sisters, you and the Hey Sister you guys and the Hey Sister podcasters, you guys look so similar. Like Stephanie and Rebecca, Stephanie and Rebecca, and then Tabby and Rachel. They both have that same facial structure, but then the hair is different. It's just, my sister and I look nothing alike. And we're very, very different. We love each other, but we're very different in personalities. It's like, I got one type of personality from my parents, and then she got another type of personality from our parents. So it's kind of, we know we're related, we're just very different. We're opposites. For instance, I'm like a liberal Democrat. She's a conservative Republican. She loves Texas. I tend to hate Texas. We're very different. I love her very much. She is my sister. I will always love her. We're just very different. So don't expect my sister to be getting on this podcast anytime soon. But Stephanie and Rebecca, you guys are awesome. You guys are already up to 400 some subscribers, so you still fall under the lower than 1K. And so yeah, guys, my 42 subscribers, go check them out. They're awesome. Oh, and they're from the Pacific Northwest, which makes me really envious of them. I want to live up there. I'm not ready to move up there at this moment, but someday. All right, we're finally at etc., etc., etc. So for those who are not interested in hearing the tales and woes, there is some positivity in here today. I trust you. If you don't want to hear about personal life, you're just here for the fiber and the makeup and the books. It was great talking to you. I will see you all later. Love you. Have a great week. For those who do want to hear the rest, the 10%. Yes, Lisa, the 10%. I'm stealing your stuff. Purloining. Which is like the knit book. Grab your beverage of choice and enjoy the ride. Let's talk about another elephant in the room. Yes, I cut my hair. I'm trying not to freak out about it too. I cut my hair solely because I want it to grow out. I know, opposite, right? Opposite. Why did you do that? Because my hair was fried and absolutely not healing from all the other stuff that I did to my hair this summer. I'm the type of person that I'm a control freak. I really am. I'm a control freak. And if I can't control anything in my life, and there's so much things that I can't control in my life, you know the one thing I can't control? The hair. Can't control the wardrobe because there's not much you can do on a budget. The hair, you can easily do. And the henna, I put tons of henna, did multiple treatments, and it still wasn't working. The top part was perfectly fine. That was mostly of the grown-up part, but the ends were not healing as well as I wanted it to be, and it wasn't growing, and it was starting to get really frizzy from the perm. And I would put coconut oil, I do co-washing, all that stuff, but I think it was because the last time I went to the person I was trying out, I was, all that stuff. When you try out new people, you do a trial, right? She focused on the back, which I know I screwed up a little. I screwed up a lot, okay? I had an undercut, okay? I had an undercut. I was letting this part grow out, but this part I wanted to keep up. And she did most of it to upkeep it, but then she didn't cut the ends of any of the front. So there were split ends, there were all that stuff. Even in the bangs, as you can tell, it's still kind of fried right here from the coloring too. When I was getting my hair dyed by Kristen in Livermore, she always made sure to keep the natural structure of my hair and not ruin it. And she would put protein treatments, and I mean, that's why it costs more, right? But she always helped to make sure it didn't feel like straw. This gal just ruined my hair and just made it into straw because she kept lightening it to get one of the colors out, I guess. I don't know. But this is what happens when you do the crazy colorings, right? You do have the chance of making it go crazy and not heal. As well as the perming. I only permed it once, to be perfectly honest. I permed it once. And I let it grow for 4 months and it relaxed and it was perfect, but it was then starting to get frizzy. And that's why I wanted her to cut more of the perm off, but she wasn't. So I actually have to cancel my appointment at the end of the month. But I decided I was going to just cut it all off. Just cut it all off. Just cut. Just cut it. Cut the whole entire perm off. So that's what I did. I went to a local beauty salon that I knew before that actually did the perm. And I said, just cut it. Can you style it like Jennifer Goodwin from Once Upon a Time? This haircut. Showed her the picture. She's like, okay, and did it. Did a great job too. But I'm my face. I really have a hard time about really short hair in my face because I look like a chubby, wubby Cabbage Patch Kid with short hair, and I know that is the low self-esteem and the depression talking, but my husband likes it. He can't hear me now. He can't hear me? He's whispering it. But he likes it. I don't believe him, though. That's my problem. I don't believe people when they say they like it. I actually styled my bangs a little bit differently. Before I was having it more front and side swipe, but today I decided to do more of like a roll. I kind of like it. My 5th graders are going to flip, though. I'm telling you, they are going to flip their lid. Yeah, I'm trying to believe people when they say they like it. The automatic thought in my head is, you're just being nice to not hurt my feelings. And I have to believe it looks at least decent. I am going to grow it out more, like the front part a little bit more. But I kind of like not having to deal with the back. Oh, and you want to see what she did in the back? I don't know if you can see it, but she did a zigzag. That was kind of cool. So maybe I'll convince her to do a lotus design, because I've been wanting those. But yeah, she and it only cost me with tip $21. Oh, that's why am I checking? Yeah. It only cost me $21. And I got the haircut that I needed. So, yeah. What else? Pole dark. I said I would talk about these two stuff last week. And I'm going to talk about it this week. Oh my gosh. Pole dark. I haven't watched this last week's episode because I've been trying to catch up on all the podcasts that suddenly are popping up. But oh my gosh. I'm so happy it's back. I figured he wasn't going to be in prison for long, but it's back and I love him. I love Aiden Turner. He's delicious. Pole dark, oh my gosh. I'm so happy they're back. I'm so happy they're back. I'm so happy. I need to watch this last week's episode. It's not going to be on this week because of the presidential debates, which I know I've said I'm a very liberal Democrat. So I may be a little biased about the Republican candidate. We already knew he was a misogynist pig. We knew that. It's just, we're not addressed. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it because I know I'm probably going to get hate mail. Can we just arrest him already? Put him in California. We got rid of our sexual assault things in there. So can we just arrest him? Please? You already knew I was a huge feminist. You guys knew I'm a huge feminist, right? You know I'm maybe a little bit of a angry feminist, and I accept that label proudly. Because the things that are going on in this country is not okay. The rape culture in this country is not okay. The fact that I had to take a training and they're putting a hold in my registration at school because I had to do a training on how not to be raped is not okay. That's probably why I haven't done it yet. Because I get a little angry about it. I shouldn't have to be taught how not to be raped. How about teaching the boys not to rape me? did I mention I watched The Exorcist 2 weeks ago? Yes, I'm changing the subject. I didn't think it was that good. Peter thought I was gonna be freaked out of my mind. I was just like, that's not scary. Maybe because I was really scared when I watched The Right, the one with Anthony Hopkins, was not that scared. Wasn't scared about that one. I thought the special effects were good. I thought the costuming was great. I thought the easy build of showing the demon possession was good, but I felt really off-put by the fact that in the beginning you're introduced to a character and then he doesn't show up until the very end and then he dies. That's kind of... I know it was based off a book. But I think there should have been a lot more involvement of this first main character, of the priest, the older priest, the exorcist, right? The man that the movie is supposed to be about. Most of the movie was about the possession of this little girl, this little 12-year-old or 13-year-old. Either way, this young lady. But the movie, and I think the book was named The Exorcist, but you meet him in the beginning and then you don't see him until the very end, where it's the last chance for this woman to survive. And he comes in and you're like, wait, where have you been all this time? And then he dies! I'm not spoiling it. It's been out for how long? He dies! That's just bad storytelling, in my perfect opinion. You should just... Okay, people can disagree with me all they want. If you want, tell me. Just tell me why that is good storytelling. Because in my mind, it just feels like, no. What else did I want to talk about that? Yeah, okay. That's actually all that I wrote about that. It was just, I felt like it was bad storytelling because if he's going to be the main character, he should be more prominent in the story, right? And he probably was in the book, but not in the movie. But in the movie, it's like, come on. He should be more prominent. It should have been called the demon. Because we saw more of the demon than him. Anyway, last thing I wanted to talk about was, can I tell you all that I'm exhausted? Oh, this past week, I am really sorry for not putting that episode up until yesterday. It's just, when I recorded it, we went to my parents in Manteca, got back home, and I was just exhausted. It was just, yeah, I was exhausted. So I ended up I didn't even do homework, which I know I have some homework to do tonight. I'm going to force myself to at least look through it. Yeah, school is starting to ramp up, and then with my placement, I'm working with a supervisor, and the supervisor's finally observing me, so I have to get that ready for this upcoming week. And last week I was trying to get everything situated. I've been living off coffee. So that's actually why my voice has been a little gravelly. I really think because, one, I'm getting my teacher's voice, which means a good amount of louder talking. And then also, coffee doesn't help the vocal cords. I actually was going to have some decaf coffee, but then I realized, oh, come on, Jen. You're really not doing yourself any favors. So, yeah. I've been waking up earlier than usual to get schoolwork done to make up for the fact that by the end of the day, my brain's dead. I am a better worker in the morning, that's for sure, but I don't like waking up in the morning. So that does not make me a morning person. Just to be clear, I'm midday. I'm a midday person. I don't like staying up late at night or going out late at night, but I don't like waking up really early in the morning. I am a midday person. I love being awake in the midday, and that's it. But I know that I function well academically in the mornings, so that's why I wake up earlier to work on writing out papers and reading and analyzing and doing the processing, because I build knowledge better in the morning. That's just it. By the end of the day, it's like nothing can get through. So, yeah. Maybe I'll just wake up early and do that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because it's 4:42. There's nothing going in this brain. Except maybe thoughts, a pole dark, and stupid people. Yeah. But I am going to be editing this podcast. Because I gotta do it. I just gotta do it the day of. And with that, oh, one last thing. I know it really doesn't matter because of the fact that I'm not very good about my scheduling and being as good. But just to let you know that next weekend I'm absolutely not going to be podcasting because next weekend is P and my dating anniversary. Yay! We've survived 3 years. And always around the time of our dating anniversary, the Half Moon Bay Art and Pumpkin Festival happens. So that is this Saturday, and we're getting a group of our friends together and saying, hey! And yeah, it's going to be nice. We're not going to the brewing company this year. We decided, you know what? It's a little pricey, and we've been there multiple times. Let's check out the restaurants on the main drag in the festival. That way we don't have to get out of our parking spot and try to cut through the traffic to get to the restaurant. We'll just keep our parking spot. We'll get there early enough, and yeah, and we'll just hang out. Yeah. And then the next day, Sunday, I'm hanging out with a friend that I haven't seen in forever. I miss you. So there's no way I'm going to podcast because I have chores to do on Sunday. And I know it's going to take me a while to get out of bed on Sunday. So, yep. Not going to happen. So, I will see you in a couple weeks then. You can find me on Instagram, even though I am private, as long as you show me that you're not a porn bot. You are more than welcome to add me. I am Knitterly Book Lady. I'm also Knitterly Book Lady on Ravelry. Again, you can always feel free to private message me with any questions, as long as you don't call me mean things. I will more than happy to respond. I do have a very truthful, honest, maybe a little. Nothing is ever out of meanness and spite. Okay, guys. So if something does rub you the wrong way, please let me know. Unless it's about Donald Trump, and then don't. Just don't. Just don't. We can talk about other things though. Yeah. We have all the show notes can be found down below or in the Ravelry episode thread. Please feel free to subscribe. You can push the thumbs up. You can push the thumbs down. I am not going to get offended. I accept it. Yeah. Anyway, you guys have a great 2 weeks. Love to you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.